Jwadu yazi ukuthi uphethe galaga Thina siphethe ezinye izinto isikalaga Fly nigga lasegazubhala bus abafana in the area
Nigga put their hands up when we come around From the city of kings and the queens Anything that could bring me down Look mommy you better love me now Shit. They can't fight the glow, they just got to know the vibe is correct. 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 When I'm in the middle of the city, no team, just a dream. The devil's still trying to kill me. Since 2016, I swear I've been on a mission to deliver what the game's been missing. A little bit of BYO to rock the nation. A kingpin incarnation. I knew I was the one, but the Lord said, son, be patient. It's more than killing these stages. You'll never show a teen how to dream while chasing the fame. You'll never grow while avoiding the pain. The future look bright, I'm a light, still fanning the flame. It's never easy to empower the game, but still I carry on. Spurg to H, the vibe is crazy. 6 to 60, Lexeni. Friend or foe, you'll never phase me. It's not a game, you'll never play me. Hands up when we come around. From the city of kings and the queens, anything that could bring me down. Look, mommy, you better love me now. Shit. They can't fight the glow, they just got to know the vibe is correct. 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 This is for the G's still stuck in a Berg life, dreaming of the fame or what money could feel like. Drinking away the pain, don't quit, you can still fight. Facing that real life, dreams can still rise. Praying I lead right for the people trying to follow the way. Too many great ones passing away, but no, not me. Find power in the words I say. The Lord breathes in the songs I make. I think about the days still stuck on the city hall bench. No hope cause the country a mess. Was really depressed, using music to inspire my friends. Now the city on my back to the end. Come on, I'm preaching again. Sacrificing everything for the game, so the world could remember my name. And then I stuck to my lane, became king, now I'm never ashamed. Drive truth to the youth for a nation in change. Come on. Hands up when we come around. From the city of kings and the queens, anything that could bring me down. Look, mommy, you better love me now. Shit. They can't fight the glow, they just got to know the vibe is correct. 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 The vibe is correct.
Hey guys, welcome to your favorite late night sessions with your one and only Bean. I hope you guys are doing well and had a blessed weekend. Today we're going to be spending some time with a very special guest. Today we're chilling with the City of Kings based king of hip hop in Zimbabwe. We're spilling the beans with the award-winning Zimbabwean hip hop artist Tafadzwa Tarukwana, better known as Asaph. Asaph, it's lovely to have you on the late night sessions with Bean. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing cool. I'm doing okay. Sha, man, I'm the king of hip hop in the world. Just haven't been discovered yet, but I'm on my way there. But I'm chilling. Thank you for having me here. I'm pretty excited for everything we're going to talk about.
Yes, that's the spirit. That's the spirit. Go out there and put Malawi on the map because, you know. So, do you care to tell the people whom you are, what you're all about, and what you're doing currently, and just a bite size?
Well, basically, I'm Tafadzwa Tarukwana, but everyone calls me Asaph. I'm a hip hop artist and radio personality. Based in Bulawayo. What else? That's basically it. I have a passion for young people, really trying to impact their lives in a positive way, because I really feel as Zimbabweans we lack, the positive role models that are portraying Zim or where they are from in a positive light that like young people can look up to and aspire to. Everyone, I feel, has this thing of saying, being Zimbabwean is something to be shy about or something to be embarrassed about. But my passion is about, really showcasing a cool version of a Zimbabwean. You know what I mean? A cool vibe of what Zimbabweans can be, of what Zimbabweans can become. So that's why I'm on radio. That's why I do music. You know what I mean? Because when someone globally is trying to search for Zim or anything that is Zimbabwean, I really hope they come across my works, or they come across, a link or the station, and they can hear like either I'm playing music, my favorite local artists, or they're listening to my music, watching my videos, and they get a glimpse of what Zimbabweans can be apart from, the headlines that they see. So that's basically who I am.
We love that. We love that. Trying to inspire the youthies of Zimbabwe. No, that's some great stuff. I really appreciate your work trying to shine the spotlight on such figures. And speaking of inspiring the youth, who or what inspired you on your own journey in the industry? And how long have you been at it?
Um, who inspired me? That's interest. That's an interesting question. I never really sat down and thought about, like, as far as Zimbabwe goes, who was inspiring me. But now that I think about it in terms of, just looking up to certain people, or seeing certain people make moves, like the Chamembes, the Rockies, the XQs, you know what I mean? The who else? Winky D's. Just seeing them shine their light as bright as they can as Zimbabweans, you know what I mean? For me, that kind of made me believe that, we can actually do this, you know what I mean? We can actually become national icons, and the whole nation can be like, Asaph is our guy, the same way they say Rocky is our guy, or XQ is our guy, you know what I mean? The thing, and now about starting, when did I start? Sometimes it really feels like you start a couple of times. You know what I mean? The first time I started rapping, the first time I got into a professional studio, I think was 2007. You know what I mean? But you can't say that's when I started, because the first time I released a project was even a gospel project. I think that was 2012. You know what I mean? Then the first time I released a project that got nominated for an award, that's now like 2015, 2016, around there. The first time I had a number one on radio, that's 2018. You know what I mean? So all of these could really be my starts, because they were platforms that catapulted me to a next level. I think with every level that you you advance to, you are starting, if you get what I mean. I'm now, if I'm thinking, like, now if I get signed to a major label or something like that, I'll be starting, because that's now when I'll have a whole huge marketing push and a whole huge, publishing deal and all that, and it will really put me on a different level, and it will feel like now I'm starting. So, man, you never stop starting. That's if that makes sense. That's basically what I can say. You really never stop starting.
I've never actually looked at it that way, but come to think of it, it makes sense. Like every level that you reach, you're actually starting. You're at the bottom of that level, and when you leave that level, then you would have reached the top, and you're stepping into a new beginner's level again. No, I get it. I get it. Thanks for that perspective. And yeah, I was about to say, you are actually a PK. And when you started off, I remember the days when where you used to do um, Christian hip hop. Back in the days of what's that place called? The Youth Center. I can't remember. You know that place on 12th Avenue. You started off doing gospel and like Christian hip hop, and then you switched to ingoma zomhlaba, like secular music. How was that switch for you? What led you to that switch, and how was that switch accepted by your fans, by your family, and for you personally? How was the journey of deciding, oh, what, it's time to try something else, kind of thing.
Yeah, that place was called Youth for Christ on 12th there. I think for me, it it wasn't really it didn't really come as a shock to people who listen to my music, because I didn't go like to the opposite extreme where I'm now swearing in my music, or just being crazy or really hectic in my music. I mean, even if you listen to my music, I hardly swear. Most of the songs are quote unquote positive. You know what I mean? I always, because I still want to build. I'm still someone who really believes in, building something, building people. When someone walks away from listening to my music, they need to have gained something. I also really believe that, it's nice if even an elderly person can hear your song and feel its purity, to the extent where they're even trying to say, recommending my music to their kid or to their little brother or something like that. You know what I mean? So I guess that it didn't really come as a shock to people. I didn't give them the shock treatment because I didn't go to the other extreme. For me, what led me to that point, I guess, was just wanting to expand. You know what I mean? There's a couple of things that led me to that point, but one of them was wanting to just expand my conversation, expand the things that I felt like I could talk about. Because also, when you are quote unquote a gospel or Christian artist, I really felt like people kind of judge and know they feel like they know what you're going to say already. They're like, it's a Christian rap album. I'm not even a Christian, why should I listen? You know what I mean? Or they already think I just gonna talk about God. But if it's just a rap album and someone listens to it and now they're hearing all this positivity coming from a person they expected to be, a secular artist, it gives a different, people tend to lend an ear to you more. You know what I mean? So, and also, I just wanted to compete on that level. I just felt like being in the gospel rap category was so limiting. You know what I mean? Because gospel rappers weren't getting nominated for best video or best verse or song of the year or whatever. They would just group you all into best gospel. You know what I mean? So I guess I also kind of wanted that. I wanted to compete, seriously compete on that level, because I believed I was that good. So basically,
Okay, cool. What, if anything, has surprised you about the music industry, and what do you think has been your biggest challenge so far? How do you view Zimbabwe's current music industry, especially the hip hop industry?
I think my biggest challenge is some sort of structural support. You know what I mean? The whole thing of having a team around you, getting a manager, getting a publicist, getting a publisher, all that stuff. Um, Especially coming from Bulawayo, because I feel like we don't really have people who are really seriously working at that level with the intention or the know-how or the education to say this is how we're gonna push Asaph, the brand. You know what I mean? I feel in Bulawayo a lot of people are not able to divide the brand from the person. You know what I mean? In Harare, I guess it's much better. Because everyone is kind of on that tip where they know this is the brand and everyone is going to eat from that brand. So the manager, the DJ, the whole structural support around the artist or around the brand knows that they are working to make this work. So I think for me that has been my biggest challenge. But the thing that has surprised me the most is that without that, I've still managed to reach levels where people actually think I have some huge team, or I don't even have. Okay, well, recently I just recently got management, but for the longest time I have not had management. So all these moves that people have kind of seen me do, or placements that people have seen me get, that's based off of my effort, you know what I mean, and how I've been able to maneuver through the industry and put myself there. So yeah, that's the thing that has surprised me, to say, oh damn, I'm actually not doing pretty bad. You know what I mean? For someone without management coming from Bulawayo in Zimbabwe, you know what I mean? I'm actually doing pretty cool. As for the music industry, especially the hip hop, I feel like it's still really uncharted territory. It's still like really a free for all. But as more artists come out, as more people are doing things and winning in their own lanes, more structures, more formulas are being formulated. So, for example, there's R Pills, right? He's from Harare. And the way he's doing what he's doing is working for him. So if someone wants to quote unquote blow up, they can follow what he's doing. You know what I mean? There's Holy 10, who's got a totally different strategy, which is working for him. But now someone can what? Follow that blueprint. There's an Asaph who's got a totally different strategy, but it seems to be working for me. So now someone can what? Follow that pattern. You know what I mean? So it's still a free fall because someone tomorrow can come up with their own way of doing things and it works. You see what I'm saying? So that's also kind of the beauty of the industry, that it's not yet highly structured and highly policed, where there's only one way to make it. I really feel like because it's still so abstract, there's still so many ways that you can enter the game and like make it work for you and what you're trying to achieve. So it's growing, it's still being defined, and yeah, it's exciting. I mean, 2021 is going to be something that's pretty interesting. This year we saw this show happened, The Rise of Zim Hip Hop, which was the first of its kind, and that was actually done online. First of its kind, man. And I know next year there's going to be another one. So the more we have events and platforms like that, I mean, sky's the limit. It's only going to get better and better and better.
And if you could change anything about the industry internationally and in Zimbabwe, what would it be?
I mean, I'm not sure. For internationally, I'm not sure. I'm actually quite blank on that one. Locally, I'll just say, more injection of money. You know what I mean? We need more money being circulated in the industry. But to a certain extent, if we were to change anything about how the game looks now, or if the industry was different, maybe I wouldn't be working as hard. You know what I mean? Maybe the artists that are out there now would not be, pushing as hard as they are. Sometimes you'll find that because things are so tough, that's the only reason why we're doing such amazing works, because the opposition is so great or the challenges are so great. That's what forces us to become amazing. You know what I mean? If everything was smooth and easy, who knows, maybe I'll be making, such bland sounding music. Maybe I wouldn't be pushing as hard as I am right now. So in light of that, I don't think I would change anything, as crazy as that may sound. But I hope people understand why I said that.
No. I get it. I get it. Kind of like survival of the fittest in the jungle of hip hop. So, what was actually your first hip hop album that you ever owned in your life? And can you recall your earliest musical memory?
Yo, the first album I owned was probably a cross movement album. It was a gospel project. What was it called though? National Emergency, something like that. Cross movement, national emergency, something along those lines, if I'm not mistaken. And then as far as like my first musical memory, okay, this is one that really sticks out to me. I was moving from Hillside Primary, going to start Form 1 at Petra High School, right? So I guess I must have been going through the pressure of saying, yo, I'm going to high school, I'm starting high school. I really want to, be accepted. Whereas I'm coming from a government school, going to a private school, will they see me as cool? Will I, you know what I mean? Then this one night, my dad comes home with a WizTech decoder, right? Cool. He plugs it in, and when it turns on, the first thing that comes on is BTV. And BTV had this program called Coca-Cola Flavor Dome, which used to play on Friday nights. So it was just like basically a music show. And the first thing that came on was Snoop Dogg, Drop It Like It's Hot, featuring Pharrell. So when I was watching that video, man, I was mesmerized. And in my mind or my heart, I was like, yo, so this is what I need to be like when I'm in high school. If I'm like this, I'd be cool. You know what I mean? And I guess that was what really pushed me into the hip hop culture, because I wanted to be cool. I wanted to be accepted in high school. So yeah, that's a music memory for you right there.
Cool. And were you cool then in high school? Were you as cool as you visioned yourself to be?
I think I did pretty cool in high school. You know what I mean? I don't know. I guess I'd have to ask those like who was with me in high school. 'Cause I was rapping in high school too. You know what I mean? Um, a lot of people know me from rapping in high school, especially like my old classmates. They'll send me messages and say, "Dang, bro, you're still rapping," and it's like, "Hey, you always knew what you wanted to do." You know what I mean? Crazy.
So, if you were not an artist and radio personality, what do you think would have been your 9 to 5? What would have been your alternative chosen career?
If I was not an artist or on radio, I'd probably be a pastor, preacher, motivational speaker type person. You know what I mean? That's the type of person I think I would be. No lie, no lie.
Who knows? There's still room, so you might just slide into Pastor Tafazo vibes. We're here for it. The music industry has an above average mental health issue and suicide rate than any other industry. And you said your main focus is the youth and the young people, to inspire and to motivate them. So in this light, talking about mental health and that side of the industry, what do you have to say to the youth, those that want to enter the industry and those that look up to you and those that are already in the industry, in terms of nurturing your mental health and things that you've come across, things that you've experienced yourself when it comes to the mental health of a public figure in the music industry?
I mean, as far as mental health is concerned, what I would advise like the youth, and not even just someone trying to get into the industry, take some time off of social media on a regular basis. You know what I mean? Get in touch with reality, and what is really important. You know what I mean? Your friends, your family, just build your anchor around reality and not just the social media likes and follows and filters. You know what I mean? I really think social media is what really adds to a lot of mental health issues, because we stay comparing our lives to other people. You know what I mean? And that kind of makes us not happy with where we are in our own lives. Yet if you were to take a step back and actually just appreciate the things that you do have already, you realize that you actually have a lot. You know what I mean? So that's one of the most important things I would say is yeah make it's a good practice to take regular breaks from social media. You know what I mean? And find a way to get in tune with reality and real life. You know what I mean? Read a book. You know what I mean? Take walks. It's basic things that God has given us that can help you, stay in tune with yourself, with your spirit, and with God. Pray, meditate. You know what I mean? So that might sound corny, but for me, that's what I'm doing. So basically,
We are still in a pandemic. So how did COVID-19 impact you? And how did you stay afloat, mentally afloat, and positive minded? And how did it affect you on a personal level and as an artist?
well, I mean, for me, it was cool because I was locked down with especially like the first months of lockdown. I was locked down with my family, so it really turned us towards each other. We got to know each other more. We got to reconnect, build our family culture. You know what I mean? And that was beautiful for me. Yeah, that's basically what we did. We hung out with each other, watched movies, prayed. That's basically how it did. It didn't really affect me as an artist too much because we were still doing these live stream shows and everything, which was pretty cool, which was pretty dope. So yeah, that it didn't really affect me too much. It just gave me a chance to reconnect with my family. It gave me a chance to go digital, you know what I mean? Because now everyone was just online. So whether it was through tweeting or Instagram lives or whatever, yeah, I guess it helped me build a following in that regard.
What 3 things would you like your fans to know about you? Stuff that they don't know about you.
What 3 things do I want my fans to know about me? Um, I'm a sucker for love, number one. Number two, sometimes I actually don't realize that I'm famous. So like when someone comes up to me and is like, "Yo, want a picture?" Whatever, sometimes I act like confused because I'll be like, "What? With me? Oh, okay." Like it shocks me still. The third thing, if I wasn't doing rap, I'd probably be doing dancehall. I'd be not like Zim dancehall. Okay, well, a bit of Zim dancehall, but like the whole, reggae, raga. I'd be really into, that genre of music.
I see. No, but then to some extent, I think you'd fit into the dancehall scene, but that's just my opinion. Maybe you must throw us a dancehall track somewhere in the future. And speaking of the future, are you working on something? What are you currently working on, and what can we expect in the future?
I'm working on an EP, an 8-track EP, which will probably come out in January, on my birthday, January 11. For this year, something for December, featuring CSK and Mawiza. I'm gonna give you guys a December vibe to vibe to. Word up.
Now that we're wrapping up the year 2020, how would you describe this year? And what have been some of the highlights for you and for your music and for your career?
The way I would describe this year is like, the year that changed everything. The year that really changed everything. This year really made us learn to appreciate the things that are really important, because anything can change in 2 seconds. Anyone can lose their life in 2 seconds. You know what I mean? So this is the year that really showed me like anything is possible, anything can change. Appreciate today for today. You know what I mean? As for highlights of my career for this year, hey, there'll be a lot, sure. I mean, putting out like Soul, which was, a Mbira hip hop fusion, that was pretty special for me. I thought that was pretty cool. Even as Pelimoya, the whole Zim Lives Matter movement happening, and the fact that we managed to, as musicians, and not only just me, there were a lot of other artists that put out music, addressing that. It was a pretty special moment. Being on Ginde with T-Gons and Kruger was also pretty big. Representing my city on that song, and actually like having a verse that people consider the verse of the year on that song. Even the Gemma and Nati O collaboration, that was pretty unique and big too, because people have this thing of saying, yo, it's really representing like all corners of Zim. So yeah, those are the ones that are coming to my mind right now. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I'm missing, but yeah, those are the highlights.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Asaph, for joining us. It's been lovely spilling some beans with you.
Nah, thank you. Thank you for having me. It's been pretty lit.
But before you go, don't you maybe want to entice us with a little something from one of your recent projects, or I don't know, just spit something small? You can't leave us empty handed.
Um, from the middle of Kingsville's the return of the mambo. I keep it low key like a Zimbabwean hill bro. Jitters wanna talk deals, tell them talk to my nostro. Too many potholes in this paper chase, swerving in and out of lanes, make it plain. Chisa, the boys in, just puffing on poison from suburb to lockshin. That limited option, hustling. For the almighty dollar, tanu bonkody burner, young taller, and with depression, winky D with the lessons. You can't make a profit out of passion. It is what it is. A rebel from the city of the kings, but prolific in the language of the queen. One time.
Yes. Okay. Come through, gangster. Come through. Anyway, thank you so much. This has been awesome. And yeah, I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to come and spend time with us and, let us get to know you a little bit. It's been awesome. Thank you so much. I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. And yeah, we'll be waiting for that EP with crossed fingers and dancing shoes.
No problem, Shah. Thank you for having me. It's always awesome catching up with you, gangsta.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much for tuning into our Rap MCMs catch up with Asaph. And I trust and believe you guys enjoyed that catch up session. And yeah, the track in the background is, no pun intended, Vibe is Correct by Asaph. And I'm not leaving you guys empty handed as usual. I'm leaving you guys with Back to December. I mean, it's only right. It's only right. We're stepping into Christmas week and it's almost end of the year. So, yeah, like I said, I'm leaving you guys with Back to December by ASAP featuring Sis K and Mawiza. I'll be back on Friday with your Fresh Fridays. Enjoy, stay safe from your bean with the biggest love.
Yeah, let's take it back to December. It was a time to remember. 6 to 6, fellas, yeah, enter. Back to December. She's a number plus weather. Smoke clouds for the blesser. Back to December. Valentina, yeah, spender. I want to know about Jenna. Back to December. Valentina, yeah, spender. I want to know about Jenna. Let's take it back to the city nights. Lost in the city lights. Follow on the gram, seeing what we be living like. The budget is looking right, so Velas is feeling like summer in the Berg, so the Becky's be looking nice. Back to the days when she gon' need a natural glow or lose her man to a +44. Where the city or the Cassie life, eat hot stuff, baby, telly ice. The way you look tonight make me wanna lose my mind. Let's take it back to December. These 2020 vibes, we ain't feeling the pressure. So Velas see I enter for those who have left us. We gonna make a toast like we living forever. Yeah, Jiver on the weekend. Ain't no time for sleeping. No, so Ntombazana, is you down or not? This lit life, it's December, boss. Let's take it back to December. It was a time to remember. 6 to 6, fellas, yeah, enter. Back to December. She's a number plus weather. Smoke clouds for the blesser. Back to December. Valentina, yeah, spender. I want to know about Jenna. Back to December. Valentina, yeah, spender. I want to know about Jenna.
Lomela magenge siyafshosha. Yimnandi bodwa. It's a vibe, it's a tenor pool, lit. Yimnandi bodwa. Chill us, pull us, don't bother us. Yeah, we young, wild and free. Too much sauce is so critic. I think that we young, wild and free. Yeah, boy.
Vuka like Kulu for them pilling it a tanky. Amachita vele atingona senza something. Umpago ka December sitole sami scafftin ngizidlela pumpkin. Abungene ngama cut bogisi senga vele sibe mnandi skis ngabo plan B. Switch on the lights. One time singene hemalaiti. Amantombazana siwachaza like kiki. Lama vibe killer siwacisha like click delete.
Let's take it back to December. It was a time to remember. 6 to 6, fellas, yeah, enter. Back to December. She's a number plus weather. Smoke clouds for the blesser. Back to December. Valentina, yeah, spender. I want to know about Jenna. Back to December. Valentina, yeah, spender. I want to know about Jenna. Let's take it back to December. It was a time to remember. 6 to 6, fellas, yeah, enter. Back to December. She's a number plus weather. Smoke clouds for the blesser. Back to December. Valentina, yeah, spender. I want to know about Jenna. Back to December. Valentina, yeah, spender. I want to know about Jenna.
Let's take it back to December. Valentina, yeah, spender. She's a number plus weather. Back to December.